Welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 How to Play, your premier series for quality Xenoblade content. And by that I don't mean on the cutting edge of meta and news, but instead I'm just getting started with all this and trying to figure out what I'm doing. But the time has finally come to talk about the first blade from the gacha pool, which if your own playthrough was anything like mine, was everyone's favorite mercenary. That's right, Little Child and Literal Bear. Ursula is an Ice Element Bear class blade, although for legal reasons is filed under Knuckle Claw since that's technically how a bear attacks. Unlike most blades, Ursula is actually a dual blade consisting of both Ursula and her partner and best friend, Beary. As this duo is a force of nature, I'm sure Ursula has some wisdom he can share on them. It's a little known fact that Ursula is probably derived from the word Ursine, which means relating to bears, and Dracula, for stealing the vitality of others. That makes total sense because Ursula is a healer class blade. Kind of a strange role for a character with such an offense-oriented presence, but fills the role well nonetheless. As a gacha blade, it's a lot harder to pick and choose who gets to be your driver, but as a healer type, it comes down to who fills the role best. Rex is a bit reckless and will likely rush in for damage, while most enemies will find Tora annoying and target him first, so that leaves the voice of reason of the early game party, Nia, to fill this critical role. As this is the first Knuckle Claw I'm covering on Nia, I should probably spend a moment to mention the driver arts she has access to. She's got Deadly Twister, Jackal Claw, Comet Punch, and Raptor Beat. Anyway, back to Ursula, she and Beary team up for 4 levels of specials to punch the enemy with. Her level 1 special is Beary Strong, and this is most evident by the fact that Beary punches the enemy so hard it knocked the HP right out of them into concentrated HP potions for the team to pick up. Her level 2 special is Beary Helpful, and while Ursula playing with Beary doesn't seem like it would do much, the adorableness makes the party feel better and makes the enemy feel bad for attacking. Her level 3 special is Beary Go Round, an aptly named spin attack performed by Beary. Being punched by a bear in this manner does of course subject the enemy to blowdown, and they better pray to the architect that they didn't already hurt Beary and make it angry. Finally, Ursula's level 4 special is Ursine Phantasm, where a now invincible Beary attacks even more, and also the driver a little, but I mean why should the driver attack when a literal bear can be attacking? While Beary does have heavy offense, Ursula hangs in the back running support with her battle skills. Her first skill, Snow Charm, provides an HP buffer to the team when Ursula is at max affinity, calling Beary to the defense of her friends. Her second battle skill is a pun that doesn't work, Beary Healing, but it's still accurate as when Ursula and Beary are swapped in, the idea of knowing they're backed up by a force of nature brings relief to the whole party. Ursula's last skill is Hide and Seek, that because the actual blade hides behind Beary while Beary deals damage, the enemy doesn't realize it's actually Ursula responsible and doesn't aggro her as much. Outside of battle is a much safer place for a child though. Ursula's first field skill is Harmony, a skill exclusive to her that allows her to have fun playing beautiful music. If you play music in her presence, it better not be beautiful, or you better not be having fun, or you'll have to answer to Bear. Speaking of Bear, Beary also helps out in the field with Ichtology, as it makes sense that Bear would know how to hunt down fish. And finally, the two together share fortitude in different regards. Beary with physical fortitude against danger, and Ursula able to endure boring and repetitive jobs, which is good for her given how many lessons she's gonna have to take to max out that affinity chart. If only the player base also had fortitude. Ursula only has one blade art, Debuff Cancel, where Beary rolls intimidation to convince the enemy to revoke their debuff. As far as equipment goes, I shouldn't need to explain why Ursula's best core chip is the glass chip that results in the bare knuckles. She only has one Ox core slot, and she and Beary should work in perfect tandem when hunting enemies, so I recommend Hunter's Chemistry. As for Nia's equipment, she can really just sit back and let Beary do all the damage and let Ursula know when the team needs healing. So let's give her a lot of stuff to make Beary even stronger. A Berserk Ring, a Violent Stone, and an embodiment of the second most powerful force in existence, a Friendship Ring. As far as pouch items go, Ursula would probably enjoy some Airy Snowflake Sherbet, and also as an Ice Blade, I'd recommend a Flurry Comb for Beary. Then, for the other 2 blades on the team, Vess is a caring woman who can take good care of Ursula, and Dromark is another top-tier predator with a good heart who would make good company for Beary. In summary, Ursula is a healer class blade who multi-classed every level after the first into DPS Beastmaster Ranger. She's definitely one of the most capable blades in all rest, able to employ both power of cuteness and roll high on intimidation. Just remember not to tick off the bear.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Ish.
Protect it!
Here we go! Make haste and retreat!
On everyone beat as one!
I'm alive? But how?